behind our use of social media. There's lots and lots of research into what we get out of social media. I mean, it's understandable that there's lots of research because for something that we spend 2.5 hours on every day, it's very useful to know why people do that, what we're getting out of it. What do we get out of scrolling through TikTok like non-stop for hours? So this is the users and gratification theory, or UGT, which is in the reference list on, it's on the main textbook actually, in the Hub, that you can read online. So the uses and gratifications for social media are social interactions, the most basic one. By using social media, we can connect and keep in touch with family and friends. That's the use, and the gratification that we get is that we've got a place to socialise with those family and friends online. Another use is information seeking, where we want to find information about sales, deals, and products. And we get benefit, we feel like we've educated ourselves by finding out more. So that's the gratification. These are very much not my definition, by the way, it's very much an academic-based theory. So passing the time, so you'll use it when you're bored, and it might make work or class less boring because you're sat, you're listening, you want to occupy yourself with something else, so you're going to pass the time. Entertainment, the use is you might be playing games, listening to music, watching videos. Gratification that you get is that it makes you laugh. Relaxation takes your mind off things, which means that you can escape from reality and stress. Express your opinions. So you will communicate updates about what you think and share comments on what other people think. And the gratification of that is that you get to voice your feelings and feel seen, basically. So social media is used for communication. You can have something to talk about with friends, and you enjoy sharing stories with friends. We, as the human race, we like to share stories. That's what we've done since the beginning of time. Then convenience is just basically you can use social media anytime, anyway, and you might find it convenient to communicate with a lot of people at the same time, anywhere. Information sharing, you're sharing personal information, which might be to build a positive reputation about yourself. We'll do a bit more on that in a little bit. And you can market yourself. So that accounts for individuals, but also for businesses. And then surveillance, which is watching people or things and watching what others are doing. The gratification is that you want to know what others are doing and keep up with others. For businesses, it also means you know what your customers are doing and what they're interested in. So when you're doing your assessment, if you are analysing the social media platforms of the brand, this is one of the academic theories that you should refer to in your audit of what they're doing on social media. You don't have to refer to all of these things, but you might say, according to users and gratification theory, they are making use of the convenience of being able to share information with their users at any time, in any place. Okay, so this is another one. So this is also when you're doing your assessment. You might also refer to the honeycomb model. So these are 7 key building blocks of using social media. And they're all centered very deliberately around identity, because we form our identity on social media. So in terms of, for you as a business, when you're thinking about digital marketing, identity will include your users' demographics, psychographic information about customers, so you can use that information about their identities to help you make better decisions. Conversations, it's possible to listen to and monitor conversations and respond if needed. Sharing, you need to understand what social networks your customers are using and create content that they will want to share and that it's easy for them to share. Presence, if you're a location-based business, you might be able to explore the relative importance of user availability and location and provide offers potentially to people nearby on your website or social media pages. Relationships, that's about understanding how to build and maintain relationships in social media. Reputation, so you demonstrate trust and authenticity to foster engagement. If organisations get this wrong, it can really backfire on social media. We'll see some examples or think about some examples of using social media to boost reputation. And groups is about facilitating communities in social media, and organisations might manage those groups to keep their sort of fans together. So the honeycomb, I recommend reading some more about the honeycomb model to get an understanding of that from the reading. It's in the textbook that you can have a look at. So if you are going to use this to refer to social media or the brands that you use, just make sure you've got the book alongside you so you can make sure that you understand those elements. This is another model. As I say, there's been lots of research into what forms the basis of social media. There's definitely not just one model, and there are new models being created all the time. These are the 7 C's. This was developed to outline why users engage with social media. So, 1, connecting with your customers, building a strong community around your brand to help spread your message. In terms of co-creativity, you can collaborate with stakeholders, including your customers, but also with collaboration, you can work together within the built business to make sure you're all working together to get a common aim, which is probably making sales to get your customers. Collective intelligence, that's where you get your intelligence from interactions with each other. So taking, looking properly at the sorts of interactions you're getting on social media, conducting surveys, finding out what your audience is interested in and what they think of your products. Digital marketing thrives on effective two-way communication, as we've seen. That's basically the bedrock of digital marketing as a whole and how it differs from traditional marketing. Did I really go conversation? I feel like I did. I think that was just on one of the other ones. Conversation, speaking to your customers, very, very important. So we've got those models of why people use social media, what different platforms they're using. So then if you go back to sort of look at those reasons why you're using social media, you need to sort of apply those. So if you're thinking about the fact that people are using social media mainly to keep in touch with family and friends, when they're doing that, they're often on Facebook. It's one of the reasons why it's the most popular one in the world. So thinking about how you can, as a brand, get in on that, and if you should get in on that. But we can see how these things fit into those sort of uses and gratification theory and into the honeycomb model in particular, about developing relationships, about building your reputation, about passing time and being part of the conversation and things like that. So having a look at those and seeing how they apply to the models, the academic models. So, as a marketeer, when you're thinking about getting engagement on social media, there are 3 steps that you need to do. You need to listen, you need to engage, and you need to measure. So these are things that you need to do with your customers. It's not enough to just go, right, I'm going to post this thing online because I think it'll be nice I've got this great idea for an Instagram post, so I'm just going to post it online. You need to really be listening to your customers before you do that, so engaging with them. And then anything that you do, you need to measure what's happening. So these are kind of methods that you would use for all marketing in general, for gathering any information about your customers and any work that you do. It's just that the platforms that you use change. So, I mean, Twitter, no longer, it's not even Twitter anymore, it's X. But the way that you use these platforms, it doesn't really change. There's sort of the knowledge behind it is the same. So you just need to apply the knowledge that you've got from those theories to new platforms when they emerge. You can really engage, one of the things you can really do with, when you engage with your customers, if they're having a problem with your product or service, or with something that your product or service solves, then by engaging with them, then that's a way that you can really get some really good customer loyalty. So I think it's on Thursday where we're going to really talk about the actual tools that you use to measure levels of engagement. But some of them would be things like Hootsuite that you might publish your social media posts through, but also you can see what people do once they get to your website from social media using Google Analytics. You can see where people have come to your website from and which particular campaigns they've come from on social media. So measuring metrics such as shares, mentions, comments and likes is really, really important with social media. So we've got a short video. This is showing how KFC in India encourages co-creation, so which is which is a measure of engagement. So let's have a look. Oh, let's play.
That's everything. So perfectly organized. I'll start working on my thesis. KFC is the #1 restaurant brand on social media for digital mantras to this success.
It's supposed to play in PowerPoint, it's really not, so let's try and get that to work. It's not ideal, but it's my okay.
The secret of a great relationship is listening. We listen to our customers and ensure that every feedback was addressed. 3, innovative and interactive campaigns. Cutting-edge technology and punching wacky ingenious ideas. Unique experiences for our customers. Campaigns like Communication, a fun and quirky way to bring out the beauty inside. And personalized year of today, over 17,000 curry kitchens were made by our fans. Our already reality wow. We see it running in currency for our many options. The accuracy of the 35,000 downloads and the capable of the iTunes absolutely. As a result of these, we were featured as one of the top 5 socially coded brands on social medias. The overall positive sentiment for our
Right. Clearly, playing the audio through my laptop is just not going to work. So there's not much point in watching that video. Unfortunately, there are a couple of other videos that is also going to be an issue for. So yes, there aren't any. If I knew how to get it to come out of these speakers, that would be great. But I have no idea. So yes, we'll leave that one.
No.
But basically, they got fans. You can try and get to this to interact with their brand by creating caricatures. Is what they wanted to get their fans to do. So they created a way to get their fans to interact that also gave them content that they could then share. But it also means that the people who did it are sharing it, and by sharing it, because they love this little caricature that they've built, that's promoting KFC. So getting your customers, and also people who aren't your customers, but just like making pretty little images of themselves, which is everyone, they're getting other people involved in the content creation, which really expands the reach of their brand beyond what they could have paid for. So coming up with a great idea like this, where you get people to really engage with your brand, it's not that easy. Things like this don't come around that often, but when they do, it can be a very effective way to get your customers involved in collaboration and co-creation. And so, right, let's somehow get back to the presentation.